Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And are we the artists of the next generation?
I'm Sean Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
Like, as things stand, definitely not.
Hey, you never know. Maybe at some point we'll be in a terrible car crash, barely survive, but our brain will be jostled just the right way where we'll be locked in for art and we'll be like, holy shit, and we'll be suddenly amazing.
And we're in this car crash together.
Yeah, maybe we're in a car crash together and both of us our brains get jostled in just the right way so that both of us are amazing at art.
You know, it's nice to have dreams, Remington. But speaking of dreams, Remington, there's a new anime season about.
Okay. It just keeps coming.
That is how time works, Rem.
It's unceasing.
It is. And with it, we've gotten a lot of requests to view the new stuff. Remington, we're not going to view the new stuff today.
Yeah, fuck you, weebs.
But what we are going to do is watch the first couple episodes of something that just got a season 2 this season.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, like, so in a way, we're being topical. But it's just a little hard to be like, man, we're just going to jump into the second season of this show that we know nothing about. That wouldn't be the most cohesive way to do a review podcast and tell a story because, you know, that's never been done before on this show or in bonus episodes of the show to disastrous consequences.
That'd be a wild thing to do. So, all right. So, this is going to be something I'm familiar with?
No.
It's going to be something I've vaguely heard of.
Probably. Good chance. But it's one of those titles that is very straightforward and generic, and I think the most likely thing that happened was while you were looking up a different anime to watch on Netflix, you saw this anime instead.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what Netflix likes to do. It's like, I'm going to search for this hyper-specific anime, and it's like, hey, I know you wanted this anime, but did you mean this completely different show that is nothing like the one you wanted?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, that's just my complaints with Netflix's algorithm and such. But, yeah, no, Rem, this winter season, there is a new second season of a fairly popular
Squid Game.
Yeah, Squid Game. Yeah, that's right. We're
doing
the
Squid
anime
Game
episode on Squid Game. Yeah,
Great anime.
Unfortunately, we couldn't do that because you've seen Squid Game already. And I've only seen one episode of it, so I don't know how interesting of an episode that would be.
All right, so what the fuck is it?
Okay, well, Rem, it's February at the time of this is released to the public.
Yep,
So we've got to talk about something that it's a little hard to bring up, especially for me. Rem, let's talk about marriage.
Oh shit! All right.
It's hard for me because, man, the future is bleak in that regard. But
I'm right here, Sean.
You are in a very happy relationship with one of my favorite people. In fact, I think she outranks you. No offense, but I think it's true.
I mean, agreed. But that doesn't mean, that two homies can't get married. All right.
For tax purposes, of course.
Yeah. Think of the tax benefits, Sean.
God, I'm just thinking about. Imagine the reaction on your girlfriend if we just walked up and were like, "Oh yeah, so we signed a marriage certificate together just for tax purposes. Just wanted to let you know."
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what her reaction would be. I think it would be bewildered and then either amused or confused or both.
Probably all of the above, honestly. And then maybe something along the lines of, "Well, do I get those benefits?" And the answer would be no, because that's America.
God bless America.
But no, Rem, we're going to talk about marriage. And what we're going to be talking about is a show that's simply titled Watashi no Shiwase na Kekkon. Or simply translated officially is My Happy Marriage.
All right, yeah, no idea what the fuck this is.
Yeah, no, hey, look, man, it's such a generic title. I don't blame you.
But it's got a season 2, apparently?
It's got a season 2 that's currently airing
All
right
right.
now. And it originally aired last year in the summer of 2020. No, excuse me, 2 years. God, it's 2025. Fuck me. It aired in summer of 2023 originally. With a 12-episode season. People had wanted us to cover it because they're like, hey, this is a different relationship dynamic than you're used to covering on the show. Because Remington, this show is about, well, you know, it's
Why the fuck you hesitating?
well, Rem, we've already covered this topic previously.
Oh, fuck.
How do you feel about arranged marriages, Rem?
Why we back here again?
Well, you know, these things happen. Sometimes you do a short form anime about monsters marrying children, and then, you know, a few weeks later you get to February and you realize, oh shit, I did a dumb and scheduled 2 of these in a less than a month period.
God damn it.
Because I was like, oh, there's a new season of this, and we hadn't covered it. I'm sure people will want us to finally cover it now that there's a new season out. It'll be nice and topical. And then when I finally sat down and was prepping my notes after we had recorded the previous episode, I was like, wait a minute, arranged marriage? Oh no, we're doing this so close together. We're doing this so close together. But I can promise there are no monsters in this one.
All right.
Of the supernatural variety, at least.
But the realest monster is man.
I mean, hey,
This
this is a historical arranged marriage romance anime.
Okay.
So, like, this isn't like a modern, like, oh no, I'm being married to my classmate who hates me. No. This is about, you know, a young woman who came into existence because of an arranged marriage, was not a fan of this that whole situation because of, you know, stress in the family. And now she is finding out that she is being put into an arranged marriage herself. Yeah. And she, mostly due to the fact that her family really fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. And because of that, you know, this is kind of like the final straw of, oh god, everything's over, this sucks.
All right.
And she has been announced that she's going to be married to her name is Mio Sayamori. And she's going to be married to a man by the name of Kyoka Kudo. And he is known for being a callous man who has essentially shunned and dismissed everybody who is lined up to be his fiancé. And since she's kind of, you know, treated the worst, she's like, well, hey, this is an option. Take her, maybe. But hey, in a shocking twist that is very outside the norm of this time period, he actually turns out to be just a very kind and gentle person. And it's a story about their relationship and growing close to each other, as well as dealing with familial drama, let's call it.
It sounds... I don't know. There's something about how you've described it where it sounds like a Disney Channel original movie, where it's just...
Yes. Gotta love that Disney Channel original movie with abusive families and arranged marriages.
Well, just in the sense of, like, we're gonna get that... It feels like we're gonna get that good old, like, oh, no, I don't want to do this. Oh, but he is real swell. Like, that whole...
Look, I would be lying if I said this didn't have some Cinderella qualities to it.
If it just feels like a little Cinderella, a little maybe tsundere action, which I would not like. Who the fuck knows how well they're gonna explore not great family dynamics, because normally it's just done in one of 2 ways, either largely ignoring it or just being like, here's my tragic backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of which I think is compelling or notable.
Well, here's the most shocking twist of it all, Rem. This is an adaptation of a novel.
Oh, wow.
Like a full-ass novel, yeah. Not a light novel. It has the designation novel, which not many anime adaptations can claim.
Okay, all right.
So maybe that's a point in its favor. Maybe there's a lot more thought put into it. And hey, bonus points. Kyoka, that's one pretty man.
I don't know fully what to expect here.
Would you like to see a picture of the pretty man, or would you like to be surprised?
I'll be surprised. I think it's less just about the pretty man and more just this could go a few different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those directions are either actively bad or cliche, but those aren't the only directions. Those aren't the only options.
It's true.
Those are just like the majority of the options.
Yeah, a lot of people, since the second season come out, have sent us emails saying, hey, are you going to cover this one? Now's the perfect time. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This seems like a good time. And plus, it's the 1st of February, Rem. It's about time to talk about romance.
Sure,
you know?
Sure.
And I mean, it is an adult cast as well, which is not something you always get with these kinds of stories.
Stick around to the end of the episode where you'll find out who I have arranged to marry Sean.
Jesus Christ. You know, that could be a joke in most other podcasts, Rem.
Who knows?
But I feel like you would do it if you thought you had a perfect opportunity.
Look, there's so few things. The list of things I wouldn't do if it were funny enough, it's so small. It's so small.
And that includes arranging a marriage with somebody.
Yeah. If it's funny enough.
Yeah, and you would also officiate it. You'd like, hey, want to come over for a game night? We're gonna try to do a fancy game night. So I feel like you should absolutely wear like a dress-up shirt or a suit or something, because we want to be posh. We're gonna play the fancy games. And I'd be like, yeah, you know, that's a bit strange, Remington, but I do love game nights with my good friend Remington, who would never deceive me in a weird, life-changing way. So absolutely, I will do that for you. And then I'd show up, and you'd just be like, you'd set up your apartment with like a miniature aisle, and you'd be officiating a wedding with a woman I have never met. And the most insane thing would be how the fuck you convince that person to do this.
Yep.
And I'd have to go along with it because content.
Because it's funny. See, you have a similar brain to me. You're just the victim of it.
Yeah, no, like, I've been through enough of your April Fool's episodes to know exactly how this kind of thing goes, Ram. So I think without further ado, we should just go straight into it. Let's go watch some of My Happy Marriage and see once and for all if this is a great romantic way to start February, or if Remington's going to arrange my downfall. And we are back after watching 4 whole episodes of the incredibly popular 2023 Netflix anime Watashi no Shiwase no Kekkon, or My Happy Marriage. And tell me, Remington, is this the Cinderella story of your dreams, or has your stance on arranged marriages changed even more than before?
Well, Sean, those are all great questions, but I think the question really on everybody's mind is, who have I arranged to marry Sean?
Okay, hold on, Remington. You can't just take a bit from part 1 and transfer it into part 2, especially a bit that could decide my future.
I said that I would do this, that I would arrange marriage and reveal it in part 2, and I plan to. All right?
I forgot that part.
Yeah, see, I said I would, and I'm a man of my word, usually.
Usually. I mean, I have been on the receiving end of your quote-unquote word on several occasions, Rem, and usually the word is mud. I'm going to be honest with you.
So, Sean, I think that because that's what people really came here for.
It's my love life.
Yes.
Or lack thereof, depending on your perspective.
But if that's why people came here, maybe we should tease them a little bit and make them wait till the end.
Gotta make sure that watch time continues, especially for the YouTube side.
Gotta build up the anticipation, you know?
Mm-hmm, I see.
So, listen to the whole episode to figure out who Sean's gonna marry.
I swear to God, if it's just a recycled bit from before, people are gonna be upset with you.
Only one way to find out. So let's talk about My Happy Marriage, Sean. So a couple weeks ago,
yep,
I made certain accusations about an anime, right?
Yes.
And I specifically said that I think it was it Blue Box that I said was Hallmark? I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes. Not to be confused with Blue Lock or Blue Period.
Yes, which you've also done very recently. So, very, very nice and blue. I talked about that being Hallmark, and we're largely continuing that tradition here.
I see. January is a month of Hallmark.
Evidently, which I remind everybody, isn't necessarily a bad thing. All that it means is that we have an extremely straightforward love story, and then asterisk magic powers for some reason. And it feels, the magic powers, they feel so stapled on.
What?
They feel so insanely stapled on. It's crazy. It's as if you had the entire thing written out for My Happy Marriage, but then the creator like saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right before they published it, and they were like, "Oh fuck, we need some of that," and just quickly added it in all the margins.
Just in case. I suppose I did neglect to mention the magical element, because I'm gonna be honest with you, Remington, when it was presented to me, I was also surprised by the magical element.
Well, and thus far, at least, right, it doesn't really matter, and I'm sure there'll be like one weird climactic scene where it matters a lot, but other than that, it's just kind of
there,
and it's a strange choice, especially our main character, Mio, right? One of the big things about her is that she comes from a prestigious magical family, but she doesn't have any magical powers. And that's why her dad and stepmom and sister fucking hate her, because she doesn't have powers. And this is largely a story about Mio, like, sort of finding herself, right? And developing self-concept and self-worth. It is somewhat undercut every time it's like, oh, why do I have shitty self-worth? Well, because I don't even have any supernatural powers. And it's like, oh, is that okay? You know, I
mean, hey, that's the core reason for my lack of self-worth, Remington. I don't know.
Yeah, you're just like, God damn.
Like that's been the core of it since I was a kid, so you know.
And here's the deal, Sean.
Yes.
I'm gonna make 2 claims.
Okay.
I'm gonna make 2 claims. One is going to be more controversial than the other.
All right.
I'm gonna make the first claim right now and the second claim a little bit later. I'm gonna put a pin into the second claim and have that lurking over us.
And that second claim is going to be the most controversial one.
Yes.
Okay.
The first claim is you don't need the magic in this show. It's not adding anything.
I mean, there's a reason I didn't tell you about it.
Yeah, if anything, it's like kind of detracting just because it is awkwardly shoehorned in there, and it's just like, okay, but why? I don't think it really connects to the themes in a meaningful way. It's also not interesting world building. It's just there. You don't need it. So that's the first thing. I don't think that's going to be wildly controversial. I'm sure plenty of people enjoy the magic, but I imagine that there's a lot who agree with me that, yeah, not doing much.
Yeah, like there's a reason I didn't specify like which historical period this was.
Yeah. So we have Mio, right? And she lives at home. It's a Cinderella nightmare. Stepmom, I think half sister, and dad, and she's treated like shit. She's just treated like a servant. There's one guy who comes and is friendly towards her. But wouldn't you know it, he ends up in an arranged marriage with the sister rather than Mio. Oh no! She, meanwhile, is in an arranged marriage with this guy who, they're like, oh man, he churns through his fiancées. And they don't, like, clarify exactly what that means. But it's implied to be very bad.
He treats them like butter.
He treats them like butter.
Spreads them out. Oh, okay, never mind. Stopping there.
Oh,
never mind.
But it's implied that it's just a negative, dangerous fella. Whereas sweetheart, whatever the fuck, who got married to the sister, he's just a nice guy. And by nice, I mean I'll let his own words for the one who ends up married to the sister. One of his earliest lines is, "I'm just a plain guy," and yeah, that's accurate. That is an accurate statement. So Mio goes to meet this ruthless son of a bitch, and he is ruthless. He's an asshole when she meets him. One of his, like, he's beautiful, right? She's like, oh my god, he's so beautiful, and then he's an asshole. Like he says, if I tell you to die, you die. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, that's not exactly how you sell things.
Now, here's the thing. They're gonna immediately try to whitewash Kudo, right? They're gonna immediately start being like, oh no, he's like, he's actually, he's an asshole but a heart of gold. You know, that old trope that's in every single romance ever.
Yep.
And they immediately are like, no, he's not. In fact, he's not even an asshole. Not even a little bit, though. And I'm like, yeah, but remember when he was like, you'll do exactly what I say, and if I tell you to die, you'll die? Like, remember when he said that? And I just feel like there's no going back from that. Like,
I mean, it depends on how pretty he is, Remington.
I don't think it does. It's a situation where it's like, this could have been a great metaphor for how people in shitty, abusive, toxic situations will find a situation that's like just 2% better, but still shitty and toxic, and be like, oh, so this is what it's like to be in a healthy relationship. And it's like, oh, no, honey, that is still toxic as fuck. That is, you're still in an abusive relationship. I acknowledge it's better. It's still abusive, though. We need to get you the fuck out of there. But that is not the perspective this show takes. This show takes, oh, how romantic. Which, once again, no matter how kind and sweet they try to make him, he opened up with saying, if I ever want you to die, you will. And that's, I'm sorry, that's
where you draw the line, huh?
That red flag's gonna stick there for a while for me. Meanwhile, the Kudo servant, Yuri or Yurie, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, but she's super sweet, super supportive, nice and helpful to Mio. And within these 3 episodes, largely it's just Mio and Kudo learning to love each other and get closer to each other, working past Mio's trauma, right, in the early stages, and the general arc, right? Nothing terribly surprising there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pretend there's a lot of depth to these characters. I've summed up Kudo's character, asshole with a heart of gold, but really he's not an asshole. Trust us. Mio.
How gray is this Christian, is what you're saying.
Yes. Then we have Mio, who's like, her character is just, she's a sweet girl who's been horribly abused all her life. The dad, the stepmom, and the sister all have the exact same character of cartoonishly evil.
Yeah.
And like in no nuance, and it's like as soon as they met Mio, when Mio was so young, they were all assholes. Even little toddler sister, right? Little toddler half sister was an immediate asshole. I think it could have been interesting if you showed it at the very youngest, maybe half sister, because half sister hadn't been like indoctrinated to hate Mio yet. Maybe she like tries to befriend her, but then stepmom is an asshole or something like that. And it's not even like none of them are interesting assholes. They're just, hey, you know the stepmom from Cinderella? Hey, this one is also the stepmom from Cinderella. You know what, the sister, why not make her also the stepmom from Cinderella? We're just gonna paint with a broad brush on that one. That one's just gonna cover everything, which doesn't, those aren't interesting villains to me. I don't care enough. And it feels like it's just like, oh man, isn't this such a tragic story? Look how evil and awful everybody is. And then a little bit later, they were evil and they were awful. And as things continued, they were evil and then they continued to be awful. But now she's with an asshole with a heart of gold and everything's great. And I'm like, you're not winning me over. You're not doing shit. And now let's really get to my more controversial note, all right?
Okay.
So my first note, let's remove the magic and it'll be a better show just because it's more focused.
Right.
My second claim, let's remove the romance from this romance anime. I know that was going to be controversial. A lot of people are going to be like, that's the point. And I disagree. I think the point is a coming of age story where Mio is in a horribly abusive situation and learns to find her self-concept and develop her self-worth, and that's the heart of the story. And you know the only person who's meaningfully contributing to that? The servant, Yuri. Yuri is great, little grandmother figure. Here's what it should have been. Mio is kicked out, lives with her grandma, or just a grandma, or family friend, or whatever, and then we just get Mio and Yuri, and they develop that relationship. Yuri's just like, here's how to become your own person, and let me help you out by showing you the care you never had. Bam, bam, and that'd be great, because they're the only ones with any chemistry, and Yuri's the only one with any character. It's a simple character still, but it's at least something. It's the only one I enjoy. And that would be better, and get the themes more, because even right now, it's like, oh yeah, you know how you develop self-concept and self-worth? By being completely subservient to a pretty man. By a pretty man who is if you do everything he says, and hey, sometimes he'll let you do things. Isn't that so kind of him to give you permission to live your life? And like, I know, it's like, oh, it's a period romance, blah, blah, blah. But oh God, it just feels so weird and whitewashed, and even like beyond the period drama issues, the fact that he is straight up an asshole. Like, even like I don't the romance isn't doing anything here, man. The romance isn't adding to the themes, it is actively detracting from what I think is the main theme of the show.
God, so the funny thing is, Remington, people are gonna be like, well, I know what show Sean needs to show him next.
What the hell?
Yeah, because there is a period focused show that has a romance subplot, but it's such a subplot that people primarily watch for the main aspects of the story. And then anytime there's a little bit of romance, they're like, oh, what a lovely sweet treat in the midst of my political period drama.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to want us to cover that pretty soon, even though they've been asking and begging us to cover it for like 2 years now, something like that.
And I don't love that Mio. All right, so here's the deal, right?
Okay.
You can't confirm or deny this.
But I won't.
Mio, so her family comes from her family is super powerful, right? Insanely powerful. They can do crazy shit. But oh no, Mio doesn't have powers. And here's what this show is gonna do. This show is gonna be like, oh, she didn't think she had powers, but she actually has insanely powerful dope powers. And that's going to further undermine the themes, because it's like, hey guys, have you ever been in a shitty situation where you feel, where people are toxic and abusive to you, and you have no self-value or self-worth? Well, hey, that's fine, because as it turns out, you are actually the most special person. And that's why you're valuable, because you have a hot boyfriend and you have the best powers, actually. So there you go. You don't have value from just being a person. That's not where it comes from. It comes from your hot boyfriend and your insane powers, obviously. And I don't think that's a good message. Because here's the thing. All right, here's my hot take, all right? You don't need a hot boyfriend. You don't need magical powers to be a valuable human person with genuine worth. Like that, those aren't the things that buy you human dignity. That's not how that goes.
I see.
Now, I could be wrong, but I really don't think I am, because look, some shows are full of surprises. This one just isn't. My Happy Marriage has, thus far, it's been very on rails. The only thing off rails is like, hey, supernatural powers, but even that, I think, is just to lead to more cliches. But it's just, that detracts so much from the theming that it angers me. I think this is a very pretty show, because it is. It's very pretty, especially like during the opening credits and everything. Oh, those sequences are some of the prettiest. But it is so vapid and so empty, and that's unfortunate, because it could have been something dope. It could have. It had the opportunity, if anything, like to to be a little bit of a Ghibli style thing, right? Where it's like focusing on the humanity and the world's a little bit supernatural and weird, but the focus is still on the humanity. That could have been nice. No, it's just bad, shitty romance with badly written characters and shoehorned supernatural nonsense to get an action scene or two in there. I don't.
Now, Remington, what if you were just, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 episodes off of getting to like the big plot contrivances that made this story more interesting?
I don't think that's what this needs. The story doesn't need more. It needs so much less. I mean, it needs more like character development, but I'm not optimistic. From the 4 episodes, the only development is exactly what you would expect. We're taking one stereotype and moving it over to a different stereotype, and that ain't enough. I don't think these are gonna start feeling suddenly like actual people. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong.
Well, hey, I mean, we'll put that to our listeners then. If you think Remington is wrong, please let us know.
All right, wait. Let me say right now. All right.
Okay.
If at any point Mio develops super dope powers, and it's like, wow, actually, you are super special and amazing, then I'm not wrong. Fuck you all right? Then, if that's what it leads to, you can't make that argument. I don't know if it does, but you can't make that argument if that one thing is true. You can't even touch it. You can't even...
Oh, God. Rem, I think people are going to want to prove you wrong even more now.
If I'm incorrect about that point, I will be amazed.
I mean, and to be fair, Rem, doing a revisit for this one wouldn't be too difficult, because like I said, there is a second season that's currently airing, and you basically watched the first third of it, so watching the last 2/3 should be a cakewalk. It'll just all really depend on how many people want us to come back to this one. And I'm curious to see, because we got a lot of recommendations for it initially, especially now that the second season has aired. And
this is fine for an airport romance book. All right, where you're like, ah, shit, need something to read on the flight, and so you pick this up. That's fine. It's nothing more than that. It's
Man, with every word, you slap the faces of the people who love this franchise.
Because it's pretending to be deep and special, but it's not. It's just...
My God.
It's not! It's the same old shit! Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. Are you struggling to... Is this the first romance you've ever seen with an asshole, but actually he has a heart of gold?
No, I've seen 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, is this the first time in a romance you've seen, she has no self-esteem, but fortunately her boyfriend sees the value in her and helps brings it out of her?
I mean, I've seen that before, yeah.
Okay, is this the first romance you've seen where there's a rival, perhaps even, we'll go specifically, a sister who is a total bitch and trying to ruin everything for the protagonist?
You know, I feel like I've seen it once or twice at least.
It seems like we're dealing with a lot of really familiar ingredients that are also being done in really familiar ways. The only thing this has that's a little bit different is the supernatural powers, which aren't important or interesting. Because even those, while they don't fit within the main shit very well, it's kind of like, what the fuck are they doing here? They still aren't doing anything original with the powers. That's still handled in a super cliche manner in its own right. It's just... This show is cliche and bad, but it's pretty, all right? It's pretty, and if you're predisposed to shoujo, and hey, look, it's pretty, that'll be enough for you. That'll be enough for a lot of people. It's pretty, and thus the weebs especially are like, good. Anything pretty must be high quality. Ignoring the fact that, unfortunately, lots of pretty things have shitty scripts.
Oh, God, I can't wait for the emails. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good for me. Oh, man. Okay, then, Rem, what do you think the Mal score for My Happy Marriage is?
I think it's going to be very high. I think it's. Oh, let's see. I feel like it's probably. Let's see. Right now I'm leaning towards it being above an 8.
Okay.
But then how high do I take it? I think. Well, but it is also okay. One sec. Let me recalibrate.
Hi.
Going around an 8 because weebs love anything pretty and simply told.
Okay.
It's Netflix, so I'm gonna do a like 0.1 or so detraction.
So you think automatically because it's Netflix, it's going to go down some?
Yes.
Any particular reason, or?
I think that Netflix doesn't have the greatest reputation for quality content anymore. There was a time, but that time has passed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, that's where we get, all those lovely. Oh shit, his name just left me. Your
Nice.
boy.
My boy, Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. You have a bunch of great series. There's some good stuff that been picked up by Netflix, but not a lot of it's inconsistent, is what I'm saying, and that's messed up the reputation a bit. I don't think it's a solely logical thing. I just don't think that the weebs are going to default associate Netflix with quality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take it 0.1 down just because of that.
Okay. So what is your final answer, sir?
I'm going to introduce just like a touch, just a drizzle of there's got to be at least a handful of people who either saw what I saw, or alternatively, there's going to be some weebs who are like, we needed much more magic, which don't get me wrong. I think much more magic would have worked. I think no magic would have been better. There's an awkward amount of magic. We could all agree on that. I think I'm going to say 7.83. I see it in the stars, Sean.
That your final answer?
It is.
Okay. Well, Remington, the first season of My Happy Marriage.
And if it's 7.93, I know not to include the Netflix coefficient, all right? It's science.
Okay. All right. It had 162,000 ratings at the time of this recording, so pretty high amount for an anime that aired in 2023. And it is sitting nice and pretty at 7.73.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yep. Nope. Pretty damn close. Like your Netflix coefficient was just a little too shallow.
Yeah, as it turns out.
Yeah, because generally speaking, Rem, the people like it's another one of those shows where a lot of people are like, it's a pretty good show, 8 out of 10, rather than the weirdly high spike of 10 out of 10s and 9s out of 10s. And that paired with a lot of people who are a bit more reasonable with their 7 out of 10s, kind of just puts it just shy of that 8.0 mark.
I genuinely think that that weebs can be easily fooled into thinking that beautiful art equates to depth. I think that look, not all of them, right? Lovely listeners, you're smarter than that, right? But the other weebs, the bad weebs.
Hey, I can't help but notice you didn't include me in that list.
Well, yeah. Of course. And I think that you get a story like this that it has potential for depth, right? Because once again, I think it's exploring meaningful themes. I just don't think it's exploring them well. But you take some good themes, you put a pretty art style, and the weebs are like, man, this is prestige television. And it's not. It may look like it, but it's not. You listen to them talk, and all of a sudden, that goes out the window.
Oh my goodness. And for those who care about my opinion, which I know most people don't, but for those who do, it's a good junk food show. That's all I'm gonna give it. I enjoyed my time with it, and I'll probably watch the second season. But unless we get a revisit, I'm probably not gonna do any rewatching.
Look, if anything, we're saying the same thing, all right? It seems like you'd agree that, like, picking it up at an airport and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, I never said that you were completely wrong. I just said you're going to piss a lot of people off.
And now it's time for a very important thing before we end the episode, Sean.
And here I thought I was going to get away with it.
No, of course not. And Sean, so there's lots of choices, right?
Uh-huh.
But I feel you're so special that I feel like I can't be the sole arbiter, right? Because I know you well, but I think the universe needs to play a part.
The universe. Oh, I see. And here I thought you were just gonna be like, I'll pull Dylan, maybe a couple of our mutual friends, maybe bring the Flop Boys in on this, like a group effort type of thing. But no, you're leaving it up to fate.
Yeah.
An arranged marriage dictated by fate. Jesus Christ.
I have here a wheel.
Ooh. Oh no, not the
Here,
wheel.
let me share. This wheel, I found this wheel.
You found this wheel.
Yes, it is a waifu deciding wheel. And
hey, Rem, before we continue, this isn't going to be like your Scooby-Doo wheel, is it?
no, it's all even chances. It's all even chances.
Okay, because your Scooby-Doo wheel fucked me.
Oh, but I added a few choices to this wheel as well.
Gee, I wonder what.
There's so many options though. All right.
Okay.
There's so many options. I'll share my screen with you so that you can see that it's fair. All right.
Okay. Hey, that looks like a wheel.
There's a lot of options here. And now, I'm gonna spin it, and you're going to marry whoever it lands on. All right.
I can't help but notice there's a very special name in the middle of that wheel.
Well, hey, we'll see if it lands on that special name or not. All right.
All right.
There's a few more special names, but we'll see if it lands on any of them. All right. Let's see the moment of truth. Yoimiya, I don't know who that is. Maybe you do.
Hold on. I'm going to use the power of Google to refresh my memory.
If you don't know them, we'll re-roll. All right. I'll give you one re-roll.
It's a Genshin Impact character. No fucking shot.
All right. No, I see. That's we got to reset. All right. Now for who it really is, the Pope, ladies and gentlemen. The Pope. Sean is gonna marry the
Rem?
Pope.
He can't marry anybody.
Sean, I've arranged it. All right.
You've arranged me to marry Pope fucking Francis. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. You and Pope Francis. I've scheduled the marriage, the honeymoon.
I know he plays Undertale, so that's something.
It took a lot of working out, let me tell you.
I mean, definitely not centuries of hard-boiled religion, yeah?
There are concerns about another schism. We'll cross that when we get to it, all right?
I mean, he's already said nice things about gay people, so, I mean, how much worse can it get?
See, so why not? Why not? It all works out.
God, I cannot believe it landed on one of your choices.
Hey, maybe the Pope was already in the waifu wheel. You don't know that.
Yeah, no, look, you certainly didn't add Yoimiya to it.
And who's to say that whether or not I added the Pope?
I mean, don't get me wrong, she looks spunky, but I mean, she's blonde and she has a bow. Like that, that's great.
But that ain't your type. The Pope, that's your type.
I like a man with a special hat.
You love your special hats, and so I just figured it would be a perfect thing. So everybody, please, every patron, and every listener is invited to One Nut Rollins and the Pope. Boy, oh boy, they're gonna soak. Amen.
I need to end the podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. I didn't fuck it up this week. Thank you very much. Did you know I fucked that up last week?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people made it very clear.
Yeah, but did you notice when I fucked up?
I tend to, yeah. I often don't correct you because that would just ruin the flow of the podcast if I have to correct every mistake of yours.
I shouldn't have brought it up. I feel even more hurt now. But if you enjoyed this show, then please leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. And for those hilarious people who put podcast recommendations in our reviews, thanks.
we get a lot of those.
That's very funny. But if that is not enough for you, twitch.tv/AnimeOutContext, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. Haven't done so this week because I've been ill, and so has Remington, and so has Dylan. But we've been a couple of sick boys. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/AnimeOutContext, where you get access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including have the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week?
As always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are total and utter assholes, but they have a heart of gold. And on that list, we have 010, Yandere Neko, Wolfire 56, Where's Our DBZ Review, You Ginger Fuck? Wes Kane just cannot keep up with the So King, Sean. Welcome to Anime in Full and Complete Context, the show where watching Requiem for Spoon Man at 0.5 speed, wake up to this nightmare that will never end, variant, Utah Isekai conquering another world with my level 99 soaking skill. It's a hell of a light novel title right there.
Yeah.
Totally Good, Titan CNH, The Susanator, The Spoon Man's Thousand Island Stare, The Sheer Audacity of This Man, agrees Misaka, The Flying Spaghetti Monster, The Danish Viking Will Conquer the World with Renoir Zoro as my navigator, The collab race with Shonen Flop ended with Spoon Man getting the icky cookie, Google it. The Capybara hurt Sean's other nut was out of network, so the hospital took it.
Okay.
Yeah, his other nut just had different insurance. That time I reincarnated as a podcast host and forced to weep. That smut has no place in Fairy Tales 100 Girlfriends. Turban, Teddy Bear, the bear that created a story, Dylan Ree. Super Zoo, Strife 54849 is informing you that the aliens have come for Samantha's bananas. Hey, that rhymed. Stacy's mom, some of these Misakas are horny as shit, so Misaka is loaning them out to an ecchi series, says Misaka, rolling her eyes. Shawnee Boy soaking his one nut in Judy's big booty.
Hey.
It's fine, Sean. It's fine. Sean's one nut in the bunny butt.
God damn it. Fucking hell.
Sean wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Sean's hair apparent. Sean, you can come soak in mommy. Sean ruined my happy sugar life when he became the #1 soak goat for his bed shaker.
I'm gonna be forever alone because of you, Remington. You know that, right? And no, you don't count.
I'm not responsible for it. This is just people doing whatever they want, all right? Sean, quit soaking with my grandma, please!
That's Remington's territory, not mine.
Sean, girlfriends are temporary soaking and Judy Hops can be forever. Just don't thrust accidentally. #OneNutRollins. Seraphim the Shark Plushie. Ryan Moody, Ross Palmer, Robert Beebe, Rhiannon Williams. Remington is right. Rem uses the drums of liberation for y'all weeps from bad anime. Rem, I want you to touch me up, feel me up. Rem hit rock bottom is still on top of Sean. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Venom, Raptor King, Professor Fox. Pro tips out of context, I won't Google soaking. But did you know, Sean, that the heretical Bethel Church practices grave soaking? PJ Turtle, permutation do both sister and girlfriend. Past Soaking 101, Sean Soaking Dynamics is next. Paco Musico, Mikeka 7 Hierto, Macaroni Uchiha, Lucky Stars the King of Moe, Link Joe Curl, Lex, Linerd98, King Rich Rock, Cassidy. Just oh no, I googled soaking. Why you teach this Titero? We're at like max saturation of inside jokes and patron names.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Remington. Normally I worry for other people who use their accounts for multiple groups, but now I kind of want that to be the case. I want a bunch of content creators who have no fucking clue who we are to have to read these Patreon names or add them like to their YouTube video scrolls and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And look, if I could become an urban legend because of it, then I think this will all have been worth it.
I wonder if the Flop Boys have had to read about your soaking habit.
They've actually stopped reading a bunch of the horny ones out loud and now just say the first word and skip it.
There's like a 98% chance that it's happened.
At least one.
Yeah.
Jax, JFans, Jake Dent, is Sean's scrotum half empty or half full? I'm making Rem say racial slurs and show you until you show him Black Lagoon, you cracker, says Misaka. I'll let you suckle my teats if you let me gobble your schlong. You can even soak after if you like. I'll never get
I was
more.
like, oh, hey, look, a reference to a thing. That's fun. And then the inside joke slaps you.
Excuse me?
Hey, look, if I told you that was a reference to an anime people want us to cover, you would not believe me.
I believe it. It might be your favorite.
Hilariously, it is one of my favorite of the year, but that's besides the point.
I knew it all along. I'll never get more Ace of the Diamond, Now I Cry. I've selected a winner for the Eiffel Tower. I did the jump hump for Rem and Sean soaking. I can't believe I made an account for this. Hot Wheels Acceleracers Racers is the best anime. Happy early cheating death day, Haruhi. Had to get glasses because my eyes suck. Glenn Michael Dolan, Get ready for my origin story, G-Thing72. Flossing with Sean's toe hair for Sleepy Princess. Fern the Fern Fern. Farmer Weeb wants to congratulate Rem for collecting another blue anime show for his Thanos gauntlet. Count is now 5. Fantine, Erica McCorkle, Diana Madrid, Darth Gator, Danielle Riot, Daddy Rem Tell Me a Bedtime Story, Calderius, Cosmic Obsess, Comrade JC, Chloe, short for Cloaca, Cheese Monkey, Cat Girls are best girls, so give me them cute little paws. Call Sean a taxidermist the way he stuffs Bunny. Rock hard for Geodudes, how do you like that, Obama? I pissed on the moon, you idiot. Boring Siren, blackout drunk before butt stuff, says Miska. Bento Kato, and every day that Raven comes to visit, says Miska. Amazing Muffin, AJ Tunnels now making comics on Patreon. Aisha Gudgy, Alios, a Moe piece of trash. And now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they going to get this week, Sean?
They are going to get a period in history.
All right, and we have, whoops, I forgot to change my username for a month and called Sean a cuck for a month.
They're going to get the Precambrian period. I love a romance about that one.
Yeah. Wherefore art thou, Remio? I crave thine big ol'.
Phanerozoic period.
Weak some shit asking for a darling in the Franks.
The Paleozoic era.
We thank and yanked the Spoon Man after he let us soak in his big hole.
The Cambrian period.
Really getting all of them in there.
Yeah, I know. Like they're just shoving it all in, and that's the poor choice of words. Never mind. Keep going.
Umbrasite.
Mesozoic.
Truck Coon Operator number 42.
Cenozoic.
That Mouse Girl.
Let's go with the Pliocene.
Tails is surprised by the question and takes a minute.
Let's go with the Quaternary.
Spoonman the Aristocrat.
The Calabrian.
Silent Secondary.
Let's go with the Jurassic.
Sean said soaking's best with the motion of the ocean.
The Triassic.
Scourge has Miska and an in-real-life girlfriend now.
Congratulations, the Cretaceous.
Sammy K is all caught up after remembering she's a patron.
You're going to get the general period known as geologic time.
Roscoe.
The Paleolithic.
Nurikadza, the birds are voting Rem for next Russian Tsar, says Miska. I make music.
The Mesolithic.
Monogatari has everything you ever said you like in an anime. This week it is creative, distinctive, fresh, and different.
Neolithic.
Miska thinks Sean will want to show Rem the Monogatari series, says Miska while Miska runs around.
The Bronze Age.
Miska thinks Rem needs to watch the Monogatari series, says Miska as Miska nods in agreement.
The Iron Age.
Miska is a regulation listener that used to listen to Face Champ, but now listens to 100% Eat, says Miska.
Let's see. The Classical Antiquity.
Mike.
Let's see. Let's go with, the Han Dynasty. There you are. That's an
Miguel
era.
Delion.
The Western Roman Empire.
It's time for the Monogatari series with toothbrushes and vampires, says Miska as Miska nods in agreement.
The Fall of Constantinople.
You're just listing events now.
Look, man, the list was starting to run out, and I was like, fuck. All right, hold on.
It's January and time for the Monogatari series, says Miska as Miska brushes Miska's teeth.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good problem to have. The Renaissance.
Hidden Otaku.
The Industrial Age.
Dracula United member Captain Beagleboy.
Matt, the Machine Age.
Crimson Reapers just because of the scythes.
The Age of Oil.
Carver 271.
The Jet Age.
Butler Rat might be getting a 3-room, 700-foot squared apartment in April. Whale Curio looks to be taking longer, so Sephiroth will have to wait.
The Atomic Era.
Blood Cell thinking about changing his name to Power Cell, but is worried about the mitochondria joke, says Miska.
Let's go with the Internet Age, I suppose.
Beethoven 1201.
The Information Age.
Back on that Monogatari grind.
Space Age.
Animated Z.
Let's go with the Baroque Age.
Also, you get the big ol'.
The Spanish hegemony, I guess.
Alpha Papa Palpatine.
The Victorian Era.
And Allfather is a criminal in 64 countries.
Appropriately, the Convict Era.
And now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Sean will list the genre of your life story, and I will tell you why magic is randomly introduced and how. On that list we have Rowdy-O. There we go.
You're gonna get a cosmic horror.
It's a cosmic horror, but everybody has magical guns that can shoot their feelings. They don't do much against the Lovecraftian nightmares, but they're there.
I wish someone would help me shoot my feelings.
Oh, don't worry, Sean. I'm sure some people will be up for it. Good morning, fellow haters, bisexuals, acid reflux havers, 9-to-5ers, and girls who vape on the bus.
You're going to get a slice of life.
And with this slice of life, everybody has the power to magically become a transformer. So
Robots in disguise?
Yeah, so you got a human form and a transformer form, and then the transformer form has a robot and a vehicle form. So really, you have 3 forms.
There's Owen.
And last but not least, we got follow animator context on Blue Sky while Sean spins the wheel to see if he can end the episode and go take a nap. And on Blue Sky, they're trying to institute a wheel of revisits, it looks like.
Huh, interesting. Their genre is, action film.
And in this action film, everybody has the magic power. You are granted the blessing of one Pokemon, and you can do magic powers based on that one Pokemon. If you got blessed by, like, a fucking Eevee, you're probably never gonna know.
Until one very special day.
Until you hit the wrong rock and all of a sudden you're breathing fire.
Or if you get really friendly with one person.
Thank you for tuning in. If you want to reach out, whether for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, then you can send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
I think I would actually watch that show. But with that, thank you all very much. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. It just keeps coming.
That is how my penis works, Rem.
It's unceasing.
It is.